The angry biker naturally heard Chase's call. The man smiled mockingly. "You're not seriously calling your office for support? If you give me your insurance before my buddies show up, I'll let you walk away." Chase chuckled disapprovingly. "We're way past insurance. I offered to settle this like gentlemen. Now you're threatening to beat me up." The biker's eyes narrowed. "I call that a self-fulfilling prophecy." The office was only a few minutes away. Chase imagined dozens of burly warehousers marching down the street to back him up. The absurdity of the situation threatened to overwhelm him, but he'd been pushed too far by too many people today. He stood up to billionaire sons. He could face down a simple thug. At that moment, two black rolled up and stopped behind the biker. The doors opened and 8 young men in denim and leather jackets got out and stood behind the motorcycle. One of the men cracked his knuckles and asked casually, "Yo, Rod, is this hit your bike and broke your arm?" "That's right. This is one and..." "He said that he'd make up for it by calling me an Uber to take me to the hospital." The biker, Rod, sneered at Chase. "And then he called his office to call backup for him." "His office?" Hearing that, the young man walked up to Chase and slapped his face. "Buddy, are you for real?" Chase took the slow swing. "Get your dirty hands away from me. Your friend Rod threatened me first. My men will be here soon, and then we'll see how tough you are." Rod's underlings surrounded Chase. A few removed their jackets, revealed muscled, tattooed arms. At this moment, beams of light swept down the street. The sound of engines filled the quiet night. Rod turned his head to look, and saw from the other side of the street a had appeared out of nowhere. There were electric cars, station wagons, even a few minivans. There had to be at least 30 cars. The world's strangest gang surrounded Rod, Chase, and the thugs. The delivery department's warehousemen jumped out of their vehicles and formed a circle. Silence fell over the group. Rod's legs began to shake when he saw how outnumbered he was. Morris?" The loud-mouthed henchman, Morris, realized they had no chance if a fight broke out. The other ruffians looked at each other as the men surrounded them. Morris leaped toward his car. "They got us surrounded, man! Let's get out of here!" However, on the opposite side of the street, Yolanda appeared on their line of sight along with dozens more delivery men, blocking their path. "Boss, I think we stepped in it this time," a lackey said in a trembling voice. "Come on, we could take..." Rod said, but his legs continued to shake. Chase stared at Morris and spoke in a low voice. "This is the army that you asked about." Morris's heart raced. He saw which way the wind was blowing. "Hey man, we don't want any trouble. We're just passing by. I don't even know this guy and his stupid motorcycle." In this situation, it was impossible for him not to admit defeat. With more than 100 people against them, there would be no winning a fight. Rod saw that he was losing Morris and the others. "Whoa, buddy, we're friends, right?" He took a step back and he saw that he was surrounded twice over. "We're friends? You let us here. These guys could if he wanted to." Morris spat and then nodded to his underlings. The 8 of them climbed back to their cars. Yolanda and her men parted to let them leave. Rod was left alone, cringing miserably. He sweated through his shirt and his hands shook with fear. "You're not going to turn them loose on me, are you?" Chase folded his arms and considered. "I tried to do this diplomatically." He didn't plan to hurt Rod, but it felt good to see a bully like that so scared. "Get out of here before I change my mind." Upon hearing this, Rod scrambled away from Chase and ran off into the night. He was so scared that he left his motorcycle behind. Yolanda stepped forward to smile at Chase proudly. "Boss, was that for real?" Chase smiled. "It was. You and the delivery guys were perfect." She smiled mischievously. You asked me to come out and work after hours. Does that mean I could leave early on Friday? Chase laughed. That seems fair. Seeing that the matter was settled, she led her small army back into the office. When Chase returned to the hospital, he saw that Tim's 2 bodyguards were still there waiting for him. The little girl was holding a pink Lady Rainicorn doll as big as she was and refused to let it go. Mr. Rothman, you're back. When the 2 bodyguards saw Chase enter, they stood up and nodded at him respectfully. Why did Daddy take so long? Dottie complained with a pout, but it was clear she was happy he was back. Obviously, the girl was just missing her father. Chase's heart softened as he caressed the little girl's chubby face and said gently, I'm sorry Daddy took so long, but Daddy did finish all his work. Can I tell you a story now? Mr. Rothman, since you're back, we'll return to Mr. Sanders. The 2 bodyguards slipped away and did not loiter with them further. Halfway through the first story, the little girl fell asleep. Chase gave her a kiss on her chubby face before covering her with a blanket. Then, he left the ward for a late dinner and texted Celia to ask her when she was coming home. As he walked out of the ward, Celia texted him back saying that she was going back to her parents' house tonight, so he could go to bed without her. Chase knew tomorrow was Saturday, the day of his in-laws' anniversary celebration. He didn't push the matter and went home alone. The Sunnyvale district wasn't the highest-class villa complex in Laudervale. An ordinary middle-class family could probably buy a place here with enough savings. Celia's parents, Jean and Patricia Sampson, lived in a villa here. As the Sampsons developed their careers over the years, they'd always hoped to buy a place here. It was their dream neighborhood. In the Menor's main hall, Jean, Patricia, and the 2 daughters met to discuss final preparations for the anniversary party. When Cicely heard Celia say that Chase would be there tomorrow, she started complaining. Sis, I just don't get it. Tomorrow's supposed to be joyous. Your blue-collared husband will totally kill the mood. Isn't that right, Mom? Patricia tried to keep her face neutral. Cicely is right, Celia. I'm not sure it's the best idea. We've invited many well-known, influential people to the banquet. Are you sure you couldn't bring someone else as your guest? Knowing Chase, he'll probably start a fight with a congressman or something. That would leave us guilty by association.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.